page 113, this first question says, f of x equals 3x plus 1. What is one possible value of x for which 6 is less than or less than f of x, which is less than 22? So one of these numbers would be the number that you put into this thing. And once you put it into that, you have to substitute it into there. So all you do is take this number and you put it into here, and they want to know which one would be correct, where the outcome would be between 6 and 22. Okay, so we'll start with the first one. So this is f of 3 now. Okay, so that's going to be 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 equals 10. Does 10 fit there? Yes, it does, and A will be the answer. If you're wondering, well, what about this next one? We'll try it, okay? F of 7, you would go 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1 is 22. That is not less than 22. There's no equal sign there. So this would not work, and if that's too big, then all of these will be too big. A is your answer. For number 11, here is your x, and I want you to always remember f of x always equals y. So basically f of x equals, this is your y, x and your y. And what they want to know is, it says a function is plotted in the xy plane. The function passes through the points in the table above. Which of these equations could represent the function? So they want to know which one of these functions would be the one that represents this graph. So basically what you got to do is plug in these numbers into these different graphs and figure it out. Okay, so I'm just going to start, like if you were to start with this one, if x is -2, so this would be f of -2, then every time there is a x, you put your -2 plus 8, and this has to yield, because f of x equals y, this thing needs to be y, okay? And it needs to match this right here. So this is going to be -4 plus 8 is 4, okay? So that does work, but you would have to try another one, like f of -1. And then if you were to do that, 2 times -1 is -2 plus 8 is going to be +6. That one doesn't work for this one. Every single one needs to work. So you know that one is out of the way. And you would continue this for every single one. So now you're going to do, I'm just going to use an easier number like 0 and -2. Okay, and I'm going to do it to this one. F of 0 would equal 2 times 0 squared minus 2. And that's just going to be 0 minus 2. That one works out. So let me try the one underneath it, -1 and 0. F of -1 equals, and I put -1 in for there, 2 times -1 squared minus 2, and that's just going to be, and that equals 0. So that one works. So let me try this one right here. F of 2, 2 times 2 minus 2 is 4 minus 2. That does not equal 0. So this one is out. Okay? And then you keep going, and we're going to move to this one now. F of x equals x minus 2, x plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to try some other numbers like this one. Every single one needs to work. 2 minus 2, and then 2 goes over here. 2 plus 1, 2 times anything, this is 0. 0 times anything equals 0. Okay, that one works for that one. Let's try this one, okay? That's going to be it's going to be f of 1, and then you're going to put 1 minus 2, and then 1 plus 1. So this is going to be 1 minus 2 is -1 times, this one is going to be 2, and that's going to be -2. So that one works as well. So let's go to 0, and f of 0 needs to yield -2. Okay, so we're going to plug that one in now. 0, 0 minus 2, because remember we're plugging into this, and then 0 plus 1, and this needs to yield a -2. So when we do that, -2 times +1 is -2. Okay, so this one is working out. And then you're going to just keep going. I'm going to cut it short here because this is a video, and let you know that as you plug in this one and this one, it's going to work out, and C is going to be your answer. So what you need to know that you have to do is you plug in the X for here, and it needs to yield Y for the entire thing, and that's when you know that this one here represents that function. The next question is number 16. It says the function f is defined by f of x equals 2x minus 7 for all values of x. What is the value of f of 3 plus f of 5? So what you want to do is you take this one and you plug it into here. So it's going to be 2. So I'm going to do this first, okay? 2 times 3 minus 7. And let's solve that. That's going to be 6 minus 7, which equals negative 1. So that's going to be one value. And then we're going to add that 2, and then let's do this to that now, okay? 2 times 5 minus 7 is going to be 10 minus 7, which is going to be positive 3. Okay, so negative 1 plus 3 is going to be positive 2. And you would write 2 in your answer choices and circle the answer, or grid in your answer. The next one is going to be number 1. Precocious Priya is estimating how much candy she will collect on Halloween. Priya's total pieces of candy, C, for B blocks trick or treated, is given by the function CB equals 8B plus 15. If Priya collects 135 pieces of candy, how many blocks does she trick or treat? Okay, so basically they're saying like this total right here is going to be 135. So this one is very easy. You just take your 8b plus 15, because that's basically, this is going to be the blocks. We want to know what the blocks is. We know that when she went through those blocks, she got 135 pieces of candy. This right here is another representation of 135. So we just want to know how many blocks does she go. You just do your regular algebra. You go negative 15, negative 15. And that's going to cross out. This is going to be 8b equals 120. Divide out the 8, divide out the 8. B is going to equal 15. And 15 is your answer.